We're back. Our next guest says the bonus bill passed by the House yesterday is a step in the right direction, but does not go far enough. Joining us now, House Representative Brad Sherman of California, also a member of the House Financial Services Committee. It does not go far enough, sir?
Absolutely. It doesn't deal with the Merrill Lynch bonuses since they were paid in December, and worse than that, it doesn't deal with $1 million a month salaries. More importantly, we should have AIG in receivership. They should have been put in receivership months ago, and we would have saved tens of billions of dollars. We wouldn't see tens of billions of dollars going to the richest on Wall Street and overseas, and of course these bonus contracts would have been voided. We need receivership, and we need limits on salaries as well as bonuses.
Well, receivership would have, I think most people agree, that would have caused some systemic problems.
Well, most people on Wall Street agree, but most people on Main Street do not.
And what do the people on Main Street know about running a financial system?
What does AIG executives know about running a financial system?
A lot more.
They only
than
know how to
people
destroy
on
one.
You know, this is witch huntery. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
We don't have to hunt the witches. We know who they are.
You and people who share your opinion seem to feel that, you know, let's hold salaries on Wall Street to $100,000. Do you have any idea what Wall Street would look like if you did that?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't set the limit at 100,000.
Well,
Second,
250.
Well, Obama's position.
All the business would go overseas. That's the bottom line.
Obama's position is $500,000 plus unlimited restricted stock. That's where I am as well, although I was actually at a higher level before Obama's statement. But for you to assume that Wall Street is acting in the national interest flies in the face of recent reality.
Congressman Sherman, do you believe that every single person on Wall Street who made over $250,000 was a bad person?
No, not at all. I believe
then
that.
Why do you want to tax them at 90%?
The goal, first of all, is to get them to return the bonuses. The overall goal is to get them off the TARP system entirely. I believe in capitalism. TARP isn't capitalism. Give back the money and run your companies. Don't come to the taxpayer and say, oh, we're used to getting $5 million a month salaries. You've got to let that continue. That's the way we've always do business. But now we're doing business differently because you're going to pay instead of the private sector.
Congressman Sherman, I think a lot of people, I mean, just to try to be nuanced about it, they realize there were compensation issues on Wall Street. There were bad actors. And I don't think anybody's fighting you on that.
This isn't just about bad actors. This is about ridiculously high compensation levels to people who think they're very important, who work at companies that are bailed out.
Do you think we should be legislating compensation in America? Because that's what you're doing. So I want to make sure, is that what you support? And how is that capitalism?
I'm against bailing out Wall Street, period. Now, when we have to do it, those companies become government agencies. And people here in the Cannon building, our staffs are very smart. They work for about $125 or less. So for you to say that these companies should be government agencies on the one hand, but get paid millions of dollars a month on the other hand, is a clash of two cultures. Well, if they want capitalism, let them have capitalism.
Okay, let's make something clear right now. Neither Erin nor I was particularly in favor of these bailouts, okay? Mm-hmm. But we both realized that we lost that debate. And now the question is, what do we do now?
Well, you get these companies to give back the money. And by the way, it wasn't enough for people to be just mildly against the TARP proposal. That's what got it passed, especially the second vote in the House. This constant din that, oh, we don't like it, but we better pass it or the whole country will explode. That constant din from so many, and I'm not counting the two people who are with me on this show today, is what passed a very bad bill with giant loopholes in it.
Congressman Sherman, just one final question for you, because I know we're heavy on time. Mm-hmm. But when you sit around and decide how to spend your time, how do you make the choice? And I'm not saying this pejoratively, but to decide to focus just on the bonus issue, which is a concern, as opposed to how do we get out of this mess?
The bonus issue is a good vehicle to focus on the receivership issue. AIG should have been put into receivership, and then tens of billions of dollars wouldn't have gone to the general creditors. The general creditors of General Motors have to take an enormous haircut. The general creditors of AIG have far more political capital, far more political power, and they're demanding to be paid every cent on the dollar.
All right, look, I'm no expert on this matter, but applying logic to the facts, here's what I come up with. If you put AIG into receivership, AIG is the company that issued a lot of these credit default swaps. In effect, insurance policies on credit vehicles. If they go into receivership, an awful lot of the system is going to implode because the insurance is no longer there. At least doing it the way we've done it, the people holding the credit default swaps have reason to believe that eventually they will be paid. AIG has, in fact, paid off. What if they worked it down about, they've worked it down to 1.6
Their CDS,
trillion.
They say they don't have any problems there at all. It's really only...
I mean, if you put them in a receivership,
let me interject here. What kind of country is it where if you invest in General Motors, you're going to take a 2/3 cut in your value of your bonds? Right. But if you go to the AIG casino, and most of these credit default swaps were uncovered credit default swaps. They were just bets. People bet against the U.S. mortgage market, and they broke the bank. And when you go to Vegas, if you break the bank, the whole country doesn't come in and bail out the casino.
But why
it shouldn't
don't we
be
go
any
after
different
the
on New York
bad
than it is in
actors
Vegas.
instead of taxing everybody? This is what doesn't seem to really make sense.
This is not bad or good. It's, are we going to have reasonable limits on executive compensation? And if you're at a bailed out firm, if you're at a new government entity, you shouldn't be paid massively more than other government employees.
Okay.
Why should you get paid more than Geithner if you're working for Geithner?
All right, Congressman, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Congressman Brad Sherman. And, you know, I mean, you and I feel similar to the way he feels. Our difference is what do we do about it? That's where we differ.
Right.